ইনস্টিটিউট অফ চার্টার্ড অ্যাকাউন্টস অফ ইন্ডিয়ার পক্ষ থেকে 48তম সাংবাদিক সম্মেলন অনুষ্ঠিত হলো। এই অনুষ্ঠানে সমগ্র ভারতে 2500টির বেশি সদস্য, অর্থ পেশাদার এবং অন্যান্য অংশ নিয়েছেন। সম্মেলনের থিম হলো ক্ষমতা, সক্ষমতা তৈরি করুন, মান উন্নয়ন করুন, বৃদ্ধি নিশ্চিত করুন।
And we'll do our master class, and then you will see that we only want to talk about SIT, right? But that is very tough to sell because SIT is boring, right? Excitement नहीं है उसमें, सुबह शाम कुछ action नहीं है. But I think what has happened, thanks to social media. So I think social media is a great thing. I am personally a fan of well-managed, well-governed, self-audited, if you may, and that's why I like ICAI, because you're kind of self-governed, right? You're as an institution doing it. Now, the fact is, Talati sir very beautifully said, "आप अपना नाम CA पहले लगाते हो and then the family name." The reason I like that is because you're trusted. The trust that you have is immense. Now the problem is you keep the trust, but you don't talk about it on social media. So there is unfortunately another 21-year-old who's not seen anything but has decided to be film influencer, knows how to get 1 million followers, and then tell people, "Acha, ye kar lo." Right? And that unfortunately
1,000 students appearing in this attempt. That is the kind of demand our course has. And this new cred, I am confident, when we have the first exam in May 24, is only going to amplify the requirement of chartered accountants and of course students pursuing this course. Today in India there are 19,000 postal zip codes. You will be proud of your fraternity in 17,100 postal zip codes. So from north to south and west to east, in 17,100 postal zip codes, there is a student doing chartered accountancy. That is the kind of spread this course has achieved. And what this ensures is that not only is our profession going across the country, but is also becoming a socio-economic change. When a student qualifies, it is not that his own professional life changes, but he is able to change the entire life of his family and people around him. That is the kind of impact this course is having. And to recognize the importance, the council has resolved that over the next 2 years, in all 700 districts of India, we must have our own reading room facility or our own infrastructure. And just before I came here to this hall, I signed 11 new proposals for reading. We had two options in the council. One, we could have fought with IFAC and said, "No, in India, this is what we do not want to allow you to do this." But I think I salute my entire council in terms of the maturity and the vision that they had, and they said, "No, हम किसी और की लाइन छोटी नहीं करना चाहते, हम खुद की लाइन बड़ी करते हैं." And we changed the code of ethics to enable that if in a conference you want to exhibit the strength of a CFO, the institute will provide this platform and permit our firms to do this. And I was delighted in the World Congress, as were there the international firms exhibiting themselves in the same size, with the same might and with the same kind of capacity and with the will to be as large as them, were able to exhibit side by side in the World Congress. And even in GloPac, we had so many Indian firms who exhibited their strength to the global accountancy profession. So compliments to you, Chitleji, and the Ethical Standards Board for all the work that you're doing. Our past president, Manoj Fadnesji, again somebody who has been instrumental in the journey of the institute. I get the opportunity to be at the NFRA meetings when we are discussing the amendments of Ind AS that the council proposes through the ASB. And we should no longer say world class, this is India class. We are a class of ourselves. And I think India class standards have been developed by you, Manoj sir. So thank you. To all the past chairmen of EIRC, the two very important international dignitaries who are here, and both of whom are dear friends of mine, the Vice President of Maldives, Mr. Mohammed Hassan, with whom last year we started a relationship, and this year, of course, with Mr. Niazi, I had the opportunity to exchange the MOU at their conference on standards in auditing and accounting standards. And of course, Mr. Sajjan, who is the President of ICA Nepal, with whom we work very closely in CAPA, and I'm delighted to be on the board with him in the CAPA board. Ladies and gentlemen, this Eastern region has truly become special to me. I have never been to Kolkata before I became the Vice President, but I was sitting there and calculating, this is probably my 10th trip to Kolkata in the last 20 months, so therefore this has become in some form a second home for me, and therefore it's a delight and pleasure to be here. I remember, Dada, when I came here first, and whenever the MC used to introduce, they used to say our very own Debashish Mitra ji, our very own Ranjit Agarwal ji, our very own Sushil Goyal ji, and Aniket Talati ji. But today, Deban ji, thank you. When you introduced me, I have now truly become your very own Aniket Talati, and with the great gesture, sir, of remembering Rahul Roy and PM Narelwala, I truly feel that I am in the midst of my own, and truly Kolkata has in some form become my second home. So thank you for having me in this inaugural session, and my thanks especially to the Rourkela branch for the magnanimity that they have shown in terms of collecting funds for the CABF.
ব্যুরো রিপোর্ট, নিউজ 24/7 টিভি। মুহূর্তের খবর হাতের মুঠোয়।